Okay, well, you've probably noticed that I've added on to the tops of these 2 inches of 2x4. I ripped down a 2x4, built it up 2 inches because when I went to the local hardware store to buy the foam, 2-inch foam like I did for this one, got up to the cash register and they told me how much it was. Well, after I came to and picked myself up off the floor, I said, "What did you say?" The price was almost double compared to what I had bought this for. And I said, well, I guess I'll figure out something else. Fortunately, I'm not trying to insulate my house. You people that are, you are paying some astronomical prices for some of this stuff, I'm sure. So I'm taking a cue from the last video that I put on for the Northwestern Vermont Model Railroad Association. And I'm going to build it up, and I'm just going to put plywood down and work off on that. So that's working out pretty well. Let me bring you a little closer and show you what I'm doing. So all I've done was ripped down some scrap 2x4 that I have, a couple pieces that I had bought extra also, and just screwed them down on top of the frame I'm using so it matches what I'm doing here when I lay the plywood down. On the back here, I did a little different. I put down a board first and then enough to bring it up to height. Now, I did that all the way around here for a specific reason, and that was so I could put my scenery up there and change it around whenever I wanted to. So I can just slide my scenery back there, and I can change it if I want to. I've got to move a few things around in order to do that, but I wanted it like that with space behind it so that if I wanted to put LED lights in there like I did on this one, I don't know if you can see them without me lighting them up, I put LED lights all around on that one. So I can do the same thing here if I want to. So that'll make it a little more versatile for me. So let's put this scenery away for now. All right. So let's get this plywood back down. All right, there. Let me get this screwed down, and then we'll come back, do a little layout, take a look at where things are going to go, and figure things out a little better. All right, now that I've got the plywood anchored down and coat of paint on it, that plywood gets very splintery if I don't have something on it. I started laying out what I would like to do to start with. That's bringing this track around, cut it off here, probably get rid of that. I don't know if I'll put a turnout in here or not. I'm thinking that through. But anyway, this back one's going to come straight out here, curve here. I want them to meet up here because I also want to come over here. I want to do a train yard here somewhere, either here or here. Not exactly sure yet. Let me get this in place a little better. Maybe I can think through it a little bit more. I don't want to go too far out on the edges with this. I want to leave plenty of room back there to do stuff. So I'm going to be using flex track here, so this doesn't really matter a whole lot. This is a 1/4 of a turn at a 20 degree radius. Yeah. So this will fill in. I hate to go any more. I don't want to go down to 18. It's just not that well for running train. So this guy, I don't know if you can see that very well. Yeah. So we're going to bring him in here. I want this to go ahead and make this turn. To some degree anyway. Probably not all the way over here. Like I said, I want to branch out here for a train yard. This piece is going to swing back here and do a loop over there. I haven't got the pieces cut for that yet. I've still got some more cutting to do, so why don't you stick around here and I'll show you what I got going on. Just cutting them out of brown pieces of paper. We'll do a couple more of those, I think. This yardstick is just 1.25 inches wide, which is just exactly what the track is. That helps it put it to scale a little bit, helps me see what is going on. That will go that way. Now I think I'm going to cut out a couple more radiuses so I can get it set up here a little bit. Oh, let me set up for that first. Actually, I can figure my railroad yard here. Let's see what I want to do with that. Possibly like this. I think I want it over here a little more. Yeah. Probably probably 3 lines. Good. She'll curve around here. All right, so let's just look at what I'm thinking here. I do want that dead pond either here or here. And I wish I had this laid out for you a little bit more. Because what I want to do here, I told you I'm not going to do the tunnel. I'm going to bring it around here and do an upgrade a little bit. And let's just put a couple pieces over there and look at that, I guess. I don't know if you can see this well enough or not. But one of the reasons I started modeling was because I wanted to model certain areas. I really wanted to model Greensboro Bend, Vermont, because it had a loop, a half a loop in it, as it ran from Lamoille County to St. Johnsbury, the LC St. J Railroad. My father used to say it was more rightly named the Long Coming St. J Railroad because it took so long to wind its way through the mountains and make its way up the grade. At Greensboro Bend, there was a grade where they had coal chutes, very much like the ones at the Northwestern Vermont Model Railroad Association that I showed you last week. Those coal chutes I want to design to go here. And that has to be on a slight upgrade, just like it was in Greensboro. I really wanted to do that when I started modeling, but it's so difficult to do. I just started doing whatever. And the old saying goes, it's your railroad, do what you want. Well, now that I finally got a little bit of experience, I think I'm going to try that because this kind of mocks the loop of Greensboro Bend. And I want to do their station here, which would be in proximity, along with the road and maybe a couple of the buildings right in here. So we'll see about that. So that's some of the things I picked up from that trip last week that you saw. And then from there, it's just going to wind its way back to where you see the Silver Streak now. I'd like them to meet side by side there. Do a railroad yard here that is not significant to the Greensboro Bend, even though they did have a spur track there. And I kind of like the way it's going to lay out over there. Gives me a little space to bring a road around, some village pieces, and maybe an industry here. But let me lay a couple pieces down and see what that's going to look like. So I've cut out a few more pieces, and I just want to zoom in on this piece right here for a minute. Try to diagram what I want to do here. Since this isn't going to be much of a turn, I'm going to figure out just where that turn is going to go. Yeah. Get a magic marker here. Try to figure out where this turn is going to be here. It's looking like here. Could be ever so gradual. Yeah. So that's where that ends up. I'm going to move you around a little bit. Maybe you'll see that better. This is an approximation as to where I want to come out. Actually, I want this away from here a little more. I need a little more background here for the coal chutes. Still got to keep my 20-inch radius turn, which is still sharper than Greensboro Bend, but you have to use artistic license to do this sort of thing. So that means this is going to have to come out here a little more. Then I can bring it in. There we go. I'm going to make sure this isn't too sharp a radius. I'll check that, and then I'm going to cut it out and lay it in place. Yeah, I did have to flatten that curve a little bit to bring it into spec, but I think we're going to be okay. All right, let's see what we can do here. Out of whack here just a little bit. Yeah, I think that's it. So that looks like that'll be the back rail. It's looking pretty good. Let's get the rest of this out of the way and figure it out. grab this other curve I made. Bring it around. How are we looking here? My 20-inch radius. All right, let's back you off a little bit now. Yeah, it's looking good. Continue my 20-inch here. Marry them together. Bring my railroad yard here. Coal chutes. Coal chutes. The junkyard is going to go either here or here. Haven't decided yet. Have to think some more on that. Probably going to get the track laid and then try to figure out where to put this stuff. But let's see. All right, I think that's all we're going to do for this session. Have some figuring to do that I don't want to bore you with, but next time I'd like to get started on this foam grade, get that where I want it. I need to order 3 turnouts. I think I'm going to do something a little different there this time for turnouts. Keep watching, and maybe we can get some track laid, at least on this side. I'm not going to do turnouts here. I'm just going to eliminate this piece of track. So keep watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please smack that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.